It directly hits your fluency. It directly hits your fluency, the way you are speaking. It is used to develop that speaking skill. Hello, everybody. How are you all? Hope you're doing great. So, welcome back to another session of improving your fluency, your speaking skills, and your English. Now, today I'm going to discuss something very important. You all know that reading is an important aspect of improving your English and your speaking skills too. Yes, but now which type of reading should you do? Should you do silent reading or should you indulge in read aloud? I know that's a question that's on your mind. Which one is more beneficial? Silent reading or read aloud? Read aloud or silent reading? Which one should you follow to improve your English and your speaking skills, and which one is more beneficial? Well, today I'm going to give you the answer to this question and I'm going to tell you which one should you take? What's more beneficial for you? So, are you ready for it? I'm Shivangi Gupta, your self-certified English language tutor and communication coach, certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. Before beginning, please subscribe the channel so that you do not miss out on any lesson that I post for you. Also, like the video and share it with your friends too. Now, coming back to today's lesson, silent reading or read aloud? Well, which one do you like to do? I'm sure a lot of people prefer read aloud and a lot of people prefer silent reading. Okay, before discussing which one is more important, what to do, what to take up, let's look in details. What are the benefits of silent reading and read aloud both? We need to understand how silent reading works, what areas of English is silent reading targeting, and what areas of English is this read aloud targeting. We have to understand the difference and we have to understand everything so that we can use them to their full potential. So let's begin with the silent reading. Well, let's look at the benefits of silent reading. Why silent reading is used? See, silent reading means when you take up any book, you take up a book, you open it, and you're reading it silently. You're reading it silently with your complete focus and attention. You're not speaking everything out loud. Now, whatever I'm reading something, but you're not able to tell what I'm reading because I'm reading it silently, right? Now, when I'm reading it silently, what am I doing? I'm actually focusing on the text of the book. When you silently read something, your main focus is on the text, the comprehension. Silent reading increases your comprehension skills. Not only your comprehension skills, it is very important to develop the English language accuracy. That means when you're silently reading a text, you are involved in reading it and your subconscious mind is involved in the accuracy of the text you are reading, of the English that you're reading. That means silent reading helps you attain that accuracy of the language subconsciously when you're reading it, because your focus is on each and every sentence, the words you're reading, you're completely focused on it. Your focus is on the text, whatever you're consuming. So your focus is on consuming the content when you're silently reading something. It's important for your comprehension skills. Now, why it is actually important? Do you really need to improve your comprehension skills even if you're not a student as an adult? Definitely, you need to improve your comprehension skills because in day-to-day life, even as an adult, you interact with written language a lot, written form of English a lot. Plus, this helps you to improve your accuracy. Like I said, it helps you improve your English language accuracy, which is very important. So, are you understanding? When you're silently reading something, you're closely interacting with the accurate language, accurate sentence structures. That's very important for you. That means you're indirectly improving your English language. Because just speaking is not important. Speaking good English, correct English, forming correct sentences is also important, right? And how are you going to do that? Through silent reading. Now, there is one more major benefit of silent reading, that is vocabulary. When you silently read something, you interact with new words and you have huge time potential to explore those words, explore the context in which the words are used, and improve your vocabulary. Yes. So, silent reading helps you a lot with your vocabulary. You're able to learn some new phrases, words, and improve your vocabulary. So, that is why silent reading is very important. Plus, one more benefit of silent reading is that you can control the pace of reading. When you're silently reading something, you can read as slow as you want. You can focus on one sentence maybe 100 times. It's up to you. You're doing it individually, and it's something that gives you opportunity to learn and improve your English. So it is about your English language, the structure of the English language. That's why silent reading is important. So now we have looked at all the benefits of silent reading, why it's important. So it is important because your focus is on the text, your written English is improving, right? Your structural English, that is sentence structures, they are improving. You're interacting with the accurate English, you're improving your vocabulary, you're learning new words and how to use those words. A lot of things get improved when you silently read a text. Now, what are the benefits of read aloud? Then, should you read aloud? Let's talk about read aloud now. Okay, when I talk about read aloud, well, read aloud is also very important. Read aloud is a bit different from silent reading. Now, what is read aloud? Now, again, I'm going to pick the book. Read aloud is when I pick a book, I open it and I start reading it out loud, right? In April in the early 1980s, a single day became one guitarist's nightmare and became another's dream. And dream job without notice, members of the underground metal band Metallica assembled before a planned recording session in a decrepit warehouse in New York and informed the guitarist Dave Mustaine he was being thrown out of the group. So I can read it out loud, right? I'm reading it out loud. Now, read aloud has its own benefit. That is, it directly hits your fluency. It directly hits your fluency. When you read aloud, you're improving your fluency. So, main focus of read aloud is your speaking fluency. It is used to enhance speaking skills. Can you see the difference? Silent reading is to improve your English, your structural English. You need sentences to speak English. You need good vocab to speak English. You need good sentence structures to speak English. And from where are you going to learn all these things? From silent reading. Now, read aloud helps you to implement that while speaking. You're speaking already written, structured sentences. Someone has written structured, correct sentences in English and you're reading it out loud. Now, here in this particular exercise, you might not be able to improve your vocab. Read aloud is not focused on vocabulary. It's rather focused on your speaking fluency, the way you are speaking. It is used to develop that speaking skill. Here, the pace is under your control, yes, but the thing is that you do not have to break your pace again and again. You cannot break your pace again and again. Once you start speaking, reading, you have to continue for some time for this read aloud to be effective. If you want the read aloud session to be effective, you cannot again and again change your pace. No, you have to take a pace and you have to read the whole paragraph or maybe one or two paragraphs with the same pace. Try reading it with the same pace without stopping much in between, without looking for the words, for the vocab, because it is not vocabulary centric, not at all. It is not vocabulary centric, it is fluency centric. It hits your fluency, it is made to improve your speaking skills. So read aloud improves your speaking skills. Now, read aloud is something that you can do alone. You might read aloud a particular book and maybe ask one of your friends, family members to sit and tell you something about your read aloud, whether you're reading it in a good manner or not. You might listen to somebody else's read aloud too in order to improve your English, because listening to somebody else's read aloud is also very important from time to time in order again to improve your listening skills, to improve your fluency, to also understand how you have to read aloud. So you have a lot of my sessions of read aloud. You can refer to them. Listening to a read aloud and doing your read aloud yourself, reading out loud, is important in order to develop your speaking skills. Speaking skills, right? Now I want to show you one example, okay? Listen to this read aloud very carefully. You have to judge. I'm going to give you the example of two read alouds, different read alouds. So this is going to be the read aloud session 1. Listen carefully and you have to compare this particular session to the session 2 that I'm going to do. Just 2 sentences, not much. Listen carefully. If the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and expecting different results, then passion is a form of mental retardation. This was the reading session number 1, okay? Read aloud session 1. Now read aloud session 2. Listen carefully to the same sentences once again. If the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and expecting different results, then passion is a form of mental retardation. Can you see the difference? Can you hear the difference? So that is the difference that you need to bring to your read aloud. Read it with some expression. Just reading it like that with a flat tone, that is not read aloud. So read aloud helps you improve your fluency. Why? Because you're practicing that particular thing you're listening to, the way you have to speak, you're practicing it with reading. That's why bring some kind of voice modulation when you are doing your read aloud. See how meaningful it is looking and how good it sounds to your own ears too, right? So that's why you have to read aloud with voice modulation, and this read aloud is going to help you develop your English speaking fluency. Now let's come to the last part of today's lesson, that is, should you indulge in silent reading or then read aloud? Which one is more beneficial? Silent reading and read aloud, they are equally important. It's about which technique you are taking up and whether silent reading is important for that technique or read aloud is important for that technique. Whenever I tell you about a speaking technique, a fluency technique, I always tell you whether you have to do the read aloud or the silent reading for that particular technique. It's important to know when to use silent reading and when to use read aloud. So do not worry about it. When I tell you a particular type of reading in the technique, follow it. Both types of reading are equally important for you to learn and improve your English because they both focus on different areas of English skill. Language is a skill made up of 4 different skills, as I told you. So all the 4 skills are important, and these 2 types of reading targets at different skills of English language. So both are equally important. So that's it for today. That was the lesson for today. Now I hope that this is going to answer your question, and now you're going to come out of this dilemma of which one to choose, because you can choose any. It depends on the time and type of skill you're targeting to improve. So be mindful whenever you're choosing which type of reading you have to do. That's it for today. Now I'm going to meet you again with a new lesson. Till then, everybody, take care, keep reading, and bye.